left-wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat.
The ongoing struggle to engage young voters could be a major factor in the 2024 election. Despite their growing numbers, Gen Z and Millennials historically turn out at lower rates than older generations. Walonda, why are Gen Z and Millennials not showing up at the polls like older generations do?
Well, again, we talked about it, but disillusionment. They don't trust the political system. And they probably listen to us and be like, I don't want to do this. I know my kids are like, she's mad all the time. No, this doesn't sound fun. I think they're disappointment with the pace of change because they're typically more progressive in nature, as we can tell. They're way more accepting of a lot of things that we're like, we still kind of sometimes side eye or question, and they just don't have that. And so I think they're agitated. They feel like change is slow. I don't really like y'all. Everybody's saying this process seems very angry, and it does. I mean, I think a lot of people get depressed and all kind of stuff. Mistrust of the candidates. They don't trust anything that's happening, and rightfully so. Yeah, the tech, the structural barriers. Most of these kids, if you think about Gen Z and Millennials, they're at work. And they don't get time off like that. And I know my kid works all the time. I'll be like, you can't take off. No, they want me to, they get scared to try to fire them. Lack of education. Some of them are still getting their education. They don't understand the process. It's not easy. I mean, I'm pretty educated. I still have to read 20 million times to try to decipher some of these words. Low political efficacy, I guess, too. Like, they're just, it's not happy. It's just not good. And just to give you some statistics, though, I mean, and we are, just to let you know, younger voters are voting more than what we did. So it is increasing, but it's still low. So in 2020, the voter turnout, and this is for the presidential election, 65 and older was 74%, 45 and 64 was 69%, 30 to 44 was 60%, and 18 to 29 were 51%. So over half of them, they are voting, just not as the highest rate as these old folks that are about to,
we're old and about to die. That's a whole different motivation behind it.
That's true. I don't know why they worried about what's happening to the world. You about to be, in the promised land soon. But hey, it is what it is. Then midterm, though, that's where all of us are negatively impacted. We vote for national and everybody just falls off. So
and
it's
local
only,
and all that.
65 and older is 66%. So that dropped almost 10%. 58% for 45 and 64, 42%, and then 36% for 18 to 29. So if it's national, it seems like it gets more of a buzz and anything else, which is more
TV
impactful.
More, that's why.
Right, but the ones that are more impactful are the ones you really should be voting
local
for.
Stuff.
Local, and we don't vote. We don't turn out.
Yeah, and that's a nice way to say it. It's a couple of reasons why. I mean, I just think that a lot of young people really, they're just not at that point of their lives where it matters.
They think it don't matter.
I'm just saying, but where, like, for instance, once you start having family and home and you slow down a little bit, it becomes a little more important to you. Like when you 20, you clubbing all the time, or you going to Acapulco or whatever, you just don't see the importance of doing it. A lot of that you say is lack of education, not understanding how that affects them. You know what I'm saying? And some of them are just, I want to say, my opinion. I'm gonna say my opinion, and maybe it's because I'm surrounded by people that just do dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to say all of them, but you know what I'm saying? Like I have a bad, millennials my fault, but I hang around a certain number of millennials that make me think all millennials are like that. So I think they're all dumbasses. But no, I just hang around a shitload of dumbasses at that age group. And so I don't want to generalize all of y'all. Some of y'all are pretty smart. Hell, some of y'all in Congress and shit. So, but I just think that like sometimes their arguments are just for the sake of arguing. Like they're not even making sense to themselves sometimes when I'm talking to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just feel like this generation of millennials and younger people, that's their point. It's like I just want to be different. And sometimes I just argue and you're not even making fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't even fit your lifestyle. So why, like you have people arguing about Trump and, a big argument would be like, well, shit, man, Trump, man, I got a PPP loan. Say, nigga, you ain't got no business. Yeah. You gonna go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't legal, fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he didn't give that to you. COVID gave that to you. They don't understand or they don't have the concept of how politics works. Oh, yeah, but you heard him say that or you saw that on a meme or some shit and you good with it. He didn't give you no stimulus check. He didn't give you a PPP. It ain't a come up like that. People don't come in the presidency and give people fucking money.
Right.
That don't work like that. Some bad shit happened called COVID, right? And he had to stimulus check the economy
Go into
so we
recession.
all wouldn't go fucking broke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you got that money. And then you kind of schemed up talking about you got a lawn service and shit. You ain't got a lawnmower. You got a lawn service. You went and got you a PPP loan. You know what I'm saying? And you think, oh, I'm good. Oh, yeah, they may hit you this year, next year. I guarantee you, one of these years, they're going to come for their money, fool. This is the United States government. They ain't forgot. It don't work like that. So all you people got PPP loans and think y'all good because y'all ain't heard shit.
It's
Keep
coming.
waiting. It's coming. It's coming. They ain't going to let 20,000 roll, bruh.
No.
Ain't going to happen. And they got your name somewhere.
It's called a loan.
Yeah, they coming. And all you idiots is out there thinking, oh, man, the economy was great when Trump was out because I got a PPP loan. Dude, the economy don't work like that, fool.
I think they think it's, we were talking about that. We got to do a show on that where it's like how when policies go into effect, what is the later outcome? Like, how long does it take for you actually to
Downstream
feel?
impacts.
You know, it ain't tomorrow. Okay, you got to check and now, yay, the government. No, that's not how it is not how it works. That's why we are feeling the negative impact of things that happened 3-4 years ago. They don't get that. They think a policy goes into effect, then instant gratification or instant negative impact. No, it doesn't work like that. And I think an economist, somebody needs to come in and talk to them about when a policy goes into effect, what's the time frame? You know? I don't think we'll get
Presidents
it.
never cut the American people a check for a good thing. I remember George Bush had to cut checks back. And
know, so you'll feel it
he
later.
cut us a check and took that shit right out of our income tax right the year after. You know what I'm saying? We thought, oh man, Bush is the man. Until your income tax came around, you can get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
I'm saying, so presidents don't cut checks like that. So for all you out there thinking that Trump cut y'all checks, and he's selling you gold and tennis shoes and $60 Bibles, y'all are fucking fools if y'all think that's a reason to vote for this man and him put you back in office. Because guess what? He ain't cutting you no check next time. Unless something disastrous happens again. The way they got to save everybody's ass is by giving us money.
Yeah, I think that the younger voters, man, the Gen Z and Millennials, I just think that they're just disengaged because they're young. I think that's just most of it. Like, especially Gen Z. I think Millennials are probably carrying the weight when it comes to like voting because they like 30 and they probably have gone through some things and they're starting to understand how policies of the politicians can directly impact their lives, like whether it's getting a house or, you know, just how much taxes they pay or, you know, making a decision about their bodies. Those are things that like right now will impact them directly. But when you Gen Z and you like 20 and you still living with your moms and pops and shit like that, you probably don't care too much about that. And if you're disengaged, you're not going to get out there and make those voting decisions until you start to live that life where you are adulting. And now these things that the politicians are talking about are directly impacting you. So what does that say?
Deadline to vote is October 7th.
Oh yes, thank you for that. So don't forget
October 21st is early
registration, voting registration. If you have not registered to vote, you better get your ass out there by Monday because that's the last day to register to vote. In Texas, at least, make sure that you get out, you register to vote by end of day Monday, and then early voting is October 21st through November 1st. All right, so don't forget that. So that leads us to our last topic, a last discussion for today, which is you just tired. People just tired of voting.